So I asked Stephen Pearl just straight up with the timeline, does the 5-5 rule change anything about the timeline of getting this wing in? Because, like, I can't say him specifically, and he can't speak to him specifically because he's a recruit, not a signee. And he said, nope, it's business as usual. And, in fact, he used that as more of an opportunity to say, hey, we like the 5-5 rule because there are guys on this team who could come back and play another year. Kevin Everton, Thomas Dowd, I mean, a number of guys. I believe Adam Olsen would technically fit that bill as well. So for Auburn, it doesn't seem to change anything. Now, timeline wise, that was another question that was asked with Stephen Pearl. When do you want to have him in? And he said, next couple of weeks, we're going to keep recruiting. We're going to keep doing our due diligence. They're not just going to rush to go get anybody. They want somebody that fits and somebody that makes sense with what Auburn wants with this roster and what they want out of that position. What I do know with Montes is he is still playing club ball in Lithuania. Their regular season is coming to an end.
Yeah, it's not like
they're about to play. They're about to be in the playoffs. It's getting close to postseason. The good news there is that if Auburn is able to get him and he's eligible and all that, they're, according to Pearl, they're not planning on getting anything really going until late May, early June. So you would have time to get him over. You would have time to get everything cleared and over. Now, when you bring in an international player like that, even before the age stuff, there's hoops to jump through. Remember, Philip Jovic was a later arrival last season. But Auburn is also, it's an interesting timeline for the summer as well because, as we found out this week, officially, Auburn is going to Greece to play in August and play a tour. And so you don't want to make the offseason the longest thing in the world because then it's like you come back from Greece and you're right into it and then it gets to be, and then you look up and if you're like Auburn this year, it's like you look up and you're in April and you're still playing ball. So for Auburn, it was like there's no like hard rush. Obviously, when you go out and recruit and you're going up against other people, yeah, everybody's timeline's different. But Auburn's not in this position. Is like if we don't have a wing by this time, we're in trouble. They've got flexibility. They've got space. We'll see with Montes. Montes looks like the guy. Again, if he can be eligible, and we'll see how that works. The other name that you had heard the most throughout this process was Dwayne Aristode. And before we started recording, Dwayne Aristode picked Oregon, which I find fascinating because Auburn played Oregon this season, but at a players era. The thing there, to me, was Dana Altman's a great coach, and Oregon wants to be really good. They were not. They were very much not good at all. And so for Aristode to go to a team that, isn't a contender, I don't know, and, I will say this, I don't know the ins and outs of Oregon's roster this season, but, they're not in a better spot than Auburn is.
They landed Alabama big. Bull Bowen.
Yeah, Taylor Bull Bowen. Yeah,
he's going to Oregon.
They've definitely got money. They've got the investment. But, a lot was hinging to, Jackson Shellstat was supposed to be that guy for them, and then he's at Louisville now. So it's just it's interesting that Aristode ended up there. Dan, I think you've heard kind of the same things that I'd heard throughout this process is that, Aristode went into the portal. He had a do not contact tag and all that. Seemed to be, from what I've gathered, just kind of pretty firm line on a pretty firm line financially. And so
brace yourself for this one about Oregon. Incoming 5-star